Very good morning, students. Today in this session I would like to teach a beautiful concept, crystal field theory. So come to the introduction part. Crystal field theory, first of all proposed by Bethe and Wavlak, but it was later extended by another scientist, Orgel. The theory that is mainly applicable to transition metals. So CFT, that is crystal field theory, is a basic model for the bonding interaction between the transition metals and ligands. According to this crystal field theory, the central metal ion of the complex is regarded as a point charge, and similarly, according to this theory, the surrounding ligands are considered as point masses. The bonding between the central metal ion on the surrounding ligands are assumed to be ionic, that is pure 100% static force, electrostatical force. Now come to the postulates of crystal field theory. The transition metal acts as a central cation. The ligands donate lone pair of electrons to the vacant orbitals of this cation. The theory assumes that the central metal ion and ligands are point charges according to this theory. According to this theory, it considers the interaction between central metal atom and ligands to be purely electrostatic, that is 100% ionic. When the complex is formed, the central metal atom is surrounded by the oppositely charged ligand molecules, so that there is no overlapping of the atomic orbitals of central metal atom and the ligand molecules. But to form a bond, the ligand molecules must approach towards the central metal atom. In the absence of external field, the 5d orbitals of central metal atom are degenerate. During the complex formation, the ligand surrounding the central metal atom, then if symmetrical field is generated between central metal atom and the ligands, the degeneracy of d orbitals is remain constant, that is remains same. But if unsymmetrical field is generated between central metal atom and the ligands, the degeneracy of d orbitals is lost. Then the splitting of orbitals takes place into two different energies, that is T2z orbital and EZ orbital. Here T2z, T stands for triplet of course. T2z orbitals include dxy, dyz and dzx, and EZ orbitals they include dx square minus y square and dz square. Here it is the diagram that include both the orbitals of EG and T2z. Remember students, EG orbitals are dx square minus y square and dz square only, and T2z orbitals are dxy, dyz and dzx. Here T2z, the term T2z, T indicates triplet. Next come to the crystal field splitting. So what it mean? The splitting of d orbitals into two different set of orbitals in the presence of the repulsive field which is created by the approaching ligand molecules. That is what crystal field splitting. The magnetic character. The magnetic character depends upon the extent of the splitting of d orbitals by the ligand only. So greater the splitting of d orbital, lesser will be the unpaired electrons, and hence lesser will be the magnetic character. Come to the color. The color of transition metal complexes is explained on the basis of electronic transitions between various d orbitals of different energies. Come to the concept crystal field splitting in octahedral geometry. So, crystal field splitting, how it happens in octahedral geometry. So, in this octahedral geometry, we take octahedral complex. See, it is a structure in the octahedral complex. Totally 6 ligands are present, and in the formation of octahedral complex, the ligand molecules approach the central metal atom along the axis. Here, in this octahedral complex, the ligand molecules approach central metal atom along the axis only. So, during the approaching of ligand, the d orbitals whose lobes lie along the axis will feel more repulsion as compared to the other orbitals. Therefore, the energy of Eg set of orbitals, Eg means dx square minus y square and dz square. So, these orbitals of 5 d orbitals will split into 2 different sets. See, here it is the splitting of d orbitals in octahedral complex. See, this is the diagram which shows crystal field splitting in octahedral complex. Now see the stage 1. Under stage 1, 5 d orbitals are given. The 5 orbitals include dxy, dyz, dzx. They call as T2z orbital set, and remaining dx square minus y square and dz square they called as Eg orbitals. So, in the stage 1, it represents the degeneracy of all the 5 d orbitals in the isolated central ion. And come to the stage 2, it represents the hypothetical degeneracy of all the orbitals at a higher energy level if all the ligand approaching the central ion. Next, come to the third stage. It represents crystal field splitting of d orbitals in octahedral field. That is what we discussed. See, in this splitting, the 3 lower energy orbitals are collectively called as T2z orbitals. We know the lower energy orbitals are T2z orbitals. They include dxy, dyz and dzx, while the 2 higher energy orbitals are Eg orbitals. So, Eg orbitals occupy higher energy level. Eg orbitals include dx square minus y square and dz square. So, the energy difference exists between these 2 set of orbitals is called crystal field splitting, and the energy is called crystal field splitting energy and is represented by delta O. Here O, the subscript O, that stands for octahedral environment. Delta O can also be written as 10 dq. 10 dq. Here the energy gap between Eg and T2g set is given as Barry center. From the center the splitting takes place. So, in total of 5 d orbitals, Eg orbitals occupy higher energy level, whereas T2g set of orbitals occupies lower energy level. In between there is a splitting taking place. That is what in the octahedral complex. Next, come to the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral geometry. In before slide we are discussed octahedral geometry. In this slide we are moving with tetrahedral geometry. So first see the diagram which is respectively a tetrahedral geometry. So under tetrahedral geometry there are only 4 ligands. So in the formation of a tetrahedral complex, the ligand molecules approach the central metal atom from between the axes. See here the condition in tetrahedral geometry is always the ligand molecules approach the central metal atom between the axes. So during the approaching of ligands, the d orbitals whose lobes lie between the axes will feel more repulsion as compared to other orbitals. Therefore, the energy of T2 set of orbitals will be increased and the 5d orbitals will split into two different sets. Here the energy of T2 set include dxy, dyz and dzx will be increased and the 5 degenerate orbitals will split into two different sets. See, crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex. It is the diagram of a crystal field splitting. You carefully observe the stage 1 and stage 2 are common, and come to the stage 3, there is a difference when compared to octahedral environment. So in this tetrahedral environment, T2 set orbitals occupy higher energy, whereas E orbitals occupy lower energy. Here please carefully look in the diagram. It is a very important note that in the stage 3 we given 5 d orbitals, but we write them as T2 and E orbitals. There is no Garrett, hence T2 orbitals include dxy, dyz and dzx, whereas E orbitals include dx square minus y square and dz square. So it is a tetrahedral environment and crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex. So here the energy that occupies by the both the orbitals is different to that of octahedral environment. So here the tetrahedral environment, that is regarded as delta T. Here the T stands for tetrahedral environment. The subscript T stands for tetrahedral environment from the picture. Come to the magnetic properties. The transition metal complex containing, of course, one or more unpaired electrons, they possess a definite value of a magnetic moment or magnetic nature. So magnetic moment is denoted by letter mu. The substances having magnetic moments are attracted by the magnetic field are called paramagnetic substances, that is, they are high spin complex. And the substances having no unpaired electrons or show zero magnetic moment are called diamagnetic substances, that is, they are low spin complexes. For example, a high spin complex I taken, it has 4 unpaired electrons, which is a character belonging to paramagnetic, whereas another complex, iron cyanide, which is a low spin complex, it has no unpaired electron and is a diamagnetic. So here two compounds are given, in which one belongs to paramagnetic character and another is belonging to diamagnetic character. That depends upon the unpaired electrons and the magnetic moment. That is, the magnetic nature or magnetic moment of coordination compounds depends on the number of unpaired electrons. So finally, the magnetic property, that is calculated by a given formula, that is mu is equal to root of n into n plus 2 into bm, where n is the total number of electrons. So these are about the magnetic properties. And come to the color. A substance appears color because it absorbs light at a specific wavelength in the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum and transmit the rest of the wavelength. When the energy of the photon is equal to the difference between the lower and higher d orbital energy levels, the electron is promoted from a lower level to higher energy level. So one example is given, titanium complex. In this, titanium plus 3 ion has one d electron in the T2Z level. If the light corresponding to the energy of the yellow green region is absorbed by the complex, it would excite and the electron from T2Z level to EZ level. Therefore, this complex appears re-violet in color. In the absence of the ligand, the crystal field splitting does not occur. Hence, the substance is colorless. So, example is given, anhydrous copper sulfate that appears as colorless, but whereas hydrated copper sulfate which appears in blue in color. So, this is the crystal field theory, in which we have discussed crystal field splitting in octahedral complex as well as crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex. So, thank you for watching. For any queries, contact.